The fishing news is brought to you by Interlux Marine Paint and Okuma.
If more people went fluke fishing and more fluke were caught, more gulp would be bought, more fluke hooks would be bought, more jigs would be bought. That's not the truth. I can substantiate my numbers, they can't substantiate theirs.
I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine, and that was Nick Cicero from the Folsom Corporation, Bimini Bay Outfitters, and Tsunami Lures. He's a tackle designer, rods, reels, lures, also a longtime boat captain, was one of the greats during the mudhole giant bluefin fishery days, a Pisano disciple. Nick would probably be on Wicked Tuna now if he hadn't dedicated himself to the recreational fishing industry. He's also a driving force with the folks over at the Save the Summer Flounder Fishery Fund in trying to get some improved science and data in our fluke fishery. And he's also one of about 150 people who turned out in Galloway Township last Thursday, January 5th, for that fluke hearing. Now, keep in mind what happened in Galloway last week. The New Jersey Marine Fisheries Council met right before the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission was set to provide those options. You can read the entire story over at thefisherman.com, but very interesting that the New Jersey Marine Fisheries Council voted for a motion to, quote, keep status quo for summer flounder fishery regulations in 2017, same as in 2016, until a peer-reviewed benchmark stock assessment is completed. Now, the process is ongoing. There's still these ASMFC fluke option hearings throughout the region. New York had theirs earlier this week, and Connecticut also had one. Not as many anglers and not as much defiance as we've seen in New Jersey. So what happens now is the Marine Fisheries Council of New Jersey voted to send this no confidence decision to the commissioner and ultimately the governor. We'll see if Governor Christie can weigh in on the subject either with this administration or the next. Now, you folks in Delaware, of course, Delaware anglers aren't looking at the same restrictions in 2017 as New Jersey and Connecticut and New York. Your hearing is going to be Tuesday, January 17th, 6 p.m. That's going to be at the Richardson and Robbins building. That's at 89 Kings Highway in Dover, Delaware. Again, this is an ongoing story, and as we have more to report on the summer flounder fishery, you can keep finding it in the Fisherman magazine and, of course, over at thefisherman.com. In terms of what's happening right now, we're here at the New Jersey Convention Center in Edison. I'll tell you all about the Garden State Outdoor Sportsman Show in just a moment. If you're looking to wet a line, some of the reports I'm getting from a few of the tackle shops, especially along the central and North Jersey coast, there are still a few resident striped bass in the mix. Best option is throwing plastics, you know, your small tsunami swim shads, or the sand eel imitations with some teasers. Make sure you put that teaser on as well. Most of these fish are small, only around the 20-inch size, but it's some fun if you want to get out there, especially with the weather midweek. Later on in the week after that cold snap, we have some nicer weather for the weekend and the weekend coming. Now, South Jersey stripers, of course, that turned into one of those messes as usual. It seemed like the striped bass in late December headed southeast once they hit Long Beach Island. So the South Jersey guys were having a real devil of a time trying to find them in the wash and in close to the beach. I will remind folks, you know, last year we had that intense bite that lasted all through January, trolling mojos and jigging. Within the 3-mile line off South Jersey, those stripers have kind of dissipated. If you are trying to catch and release stripers in the EEZ, that's outside of 3 miles, they have been enforcing the regulations. You're not allowed to do that. And if you do get caught, $500 fine per striped bass. So let's just look forward to the spring run again and also the March 1st opening in New Jersey along the Back Bay. Best options right now, we've got a little bit of a mackerel bite materializing. The Miss Belmar Princess was out a couple of times, except for in that snowy condition. Now, we found out from the Miss Belmar Princess that they had reports of mackerel about 10 miles east of Shark River. Other boats like the Golden Eagle are playing those options when they materialize. I spoke with Bob Bogan a little farther south aboard the Gambler. He told me this week, with the weather being the way it was, he was keeping his options open. So check the website for details. Could be blackfish, could be cod, maybe even going for a couple of those straggler stripers that I was talking about inside the line. Other Belmar boats and boats that are sailing for mostly blackfish. You got the big Mohawk, Skylarker, Old Salty, Parker Pete, for example. While on the ling, cod, blackfish, and jumbo porgy grounds, look for party boat options like the Jamaica, the big Jamaica, the Norma Kay, the Dauntless, Mimi 6. Charter options, Barbara Gale, Jersey Hooker, all the way down to the Katydid out of Lewis Harbor Marina, and of course the folks at Cape Queen Charters in Cape May County keeping options open, especially when it comes to some of that blackfishing. Now, the January edition of the Fisherman magazine, it has all those options on what boats are sailing. You get their contact information, and you can get your copy here. We're finishing up the setup for the Garden State Outdoor Sportsman Show. Come on by the booth, get yourself a free copy of the Fisherman magazine. Check out our brand new shirts. We've got a new line of t-shirts that we're selling at the show this week. Hours are Thursday through Friday, 1 to 8, Saturday 10 to 8, Sunday 10 to 5. If you go over to the website, www.gsoss.com, you can save on the admission price if you log in right there. So I hope to see you here at the show. Next Saturday, folks, just around the corner from here, the Staten Island Tuna Club, Saturday, January 21st, they're going to have a new and used tackle swap. Find information in the Fisherman magazine. You can also go over to our online calendar of events over at thefisherman.com. This and other events that are going on in the area. We don't have any real good ice reports to let you know of just yet. And with this warm weather, it's not really an option. Open ice conditions, but until then, you freshwater fishermen, saltwater fishermen, and hunters, come on down here. We're at booth 333 at the Garden State Outdoor Sportsman Show this week. And you Raritan guys who love that Slater's pork roll, egg, and cheese before going out to the head boats in the Highlands and Atlantic Highlands, if you get here early, make sure you check out Harold's right around the corner. Known for their deli sandwiches, you can get their $11 version of the pork roll, egg, and cheese. You know how the sandwiches are. Imagine that pork roll, egg, and cheese about this big. So stop in, make sure you come and see us. We're here at the booth all weekend long. I hope to see you here. Jim Hutchinson with the Fisherman magazine and thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is brought to you by Intellux Marine Paint and Okuma.